Welcome to the Journey Podcast. Welcome back again to this new episode of the season 3 of the Journey Podcast. My name is Manzi and I'm your host. And you are in the Journey space. I'm very excited, guys. You know, it's always a pleasure to be back in the studio. And today I have a brother of mine in the studio, Rwandan. Let me take my time, guys. This is a very talented human I know. You know, he's a big brother. You know, I look up to him, and also, yeah, he's done a lot of things. You know, if you are Rwandese or non-Rwandese, you know this guy. And I'm glad we are also on the same feature movie, Nepfune Frost. If you haven't watched it, go online and watch it. But ladies and gentlemen, Rwandan, welcome to the Journey Podcast.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
Long overdue, yeah. I know we wanted to do this for some time.
Yeah.
But also it's nice to do it now because from then when we met, a lot has happened as well.
Definitely.
I think when we met, I was doing a project called Mass Poetry, which was more about, you know, when we were doing Nepfune Frost in Karongi, I had my gear and I would go to the street and mount it and then call kids to come and freestyle on my things, beats that I was making on the phone and stuff like that. Yeah. So after that, I did like a couple more projects and now I have an album that I'm submitting for Grammys. Just like, you know, there's growth, you know, the journey, we keep going.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, so now I'm gonna go back. You know, it's the Journey Podcast. So, actually, I'm really happy you're here. You know, I'm really happy you're here. I feel like it's always a pleasure to have different people coming to the studio. You know, a lot of artists, a lot of creatives. But then having people like you taking your time to come here, then it means we are actually doing a great job.
Absolutely, yeah.
So big up to the whole team behind the scene. You know, shout out to A-Ball, shout out to Nikupe, everybody. You know, the visuals, the audio, everything. So now, let's go back in time. You know, for me, I remember seeing you for the first time was on New Year's. You know, I was like, oh, I looked at you, I was like, who is this guy with tattoos? He looks cool, okay. But then, you know, me, I'm a very social media guy. I'm always researching, looking who's the new artist in the scene, who is here, who is there. Because for me, when I grew up, I really liked to know, because I don't know, I didn't know I was going to really pursue professionally being an artist. But all I knew was that I needed to know who is here, who was here, and who's gonna be here. So for me to know, so yeah, and that I feel like in my dance industry, I managed.
Okay.
I managed to know who is here, who was here, and for me to be able to connect. And now it comes back in time. I remember seeing Mboka. Online, you know, that was a piece. I think, you know, that's the time I started to follow you in your journey. So I want to go now to a question, you know, to ask you, like, Rwandan, like, have you always been an artist, or when did you start being an artist? Like, how did your journey start?
This is actually one of the most difficult questions for me to answer. It's like when I say I'm a poet, like, when did you start writing? And I think, to be honest, when I look back in my childhood, I was born in Congo, and I think in Congo everyone is creative. You know, you have to create your own toys, you have to create your own games, you guys are just, you know, you are in a movie that you're actually managing, you know, by yourself on a daily basis. So now, then you grow up, you go to school, you do stuff, but you still have that mentality of being free. You know, I think for me, the professional being an artist is just being allowed to be like, okay, William, that person is free. Because then you can do anything that you want.
Have you always felt free?
I've always felt free. And I've always felt free, but then at some point, because the society keeps telling you what to do, how to wear. The parents are like, if you have tattoos, you have to wear long sleeve. You want to pierce my ears, it was a problem, you know. But you're just like, you know, I'm not a thug or anything. I'm just like expressing myself, you know. And also remember, there's things that we do, we think is because we've seen them, but also it's also things that are part of you.
Definitely.
You know, like dance or being style is just like a black thing, you know, forever. I went to a museum in Cairo. And then I was looking at, you know, like these statues are like 7,000 years old with like massive holes in their ears.
Yeah.
You know, like piercing. So we like, now that you see on TV, you see like a white dude with it, you think they invented it, but you know, everything's black, so it's been there. So for me to just like expressing myself is just like, yeah, it's being black. It's normal, you know. And also the fact that I grew up in Congo in my childhood, we express ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, man, in the streets, what I saw Kaga, there's like a guy with the drum. Yakoze mu binuza like in binuza bya nido.
This oil.
Like the cans. Yeah, everything. People are just creative on a daily basis about stuff, you know. So it's just a way of life. You move, and then you have like different neighborhoods. They will have different stuff. You know, like if each neighborhood had their own thing. They represent something. Wow. You have like a neighborhood where the football is like crazy. Hainan wakina B is that danger where marbles like this is the game, or people who make like slingshot. Like you just have like everything. Even for grown-ups, you have like this is bars, this is where sports is, this is where they do martial arts, like a bunch of stuff happening, activities.
Yeah.
And so growing up there, like, and then when I moved to Rwanda, I came to a place where everything has to be toned down.
Yeah.
Quiet everything. Quiet your...
Reserve.
Yeah, but I'm like, but this is not who I am. So I'm like, okay, let me try because this is what everybody is.
Yeah.
And I tried and I was dying inside. I couldn't, you know, I did.
How old were you at the time?
When I came to Rwanda?
Yeah.
I came to Rwanda, I was 17.
17.
Yeah, I was 17. 17, I was really not. I had lived in Brazzaville, which is even more expressive. That's when I got in touch with like... I get in contact for the first time with rap music, because you know, still have friends who are cool, who are following French rap, and they put you on Biggie Smalls and Tupac and all that. Like, hey, these guys are cool, man. You know, so you start dreaming about stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But back before, it was just, this is where we live. We don't know. You live in a world without. You don't know much about external influence. The music is Congolese, you know, everything is local.
It's a big country.
It's a huge country, you know, and I mean, of course, we listen to Radio Run and everything. When it comes to storytelling, this is how I was inspired, you know. And also, I was raised by my great grandpa and my grandpa, so storytelling for me is like.
It's been a part of.
It's been a part of me, you know. People tell you stories, and then you find yourself. I would make people laugh, you know, when we were at school or we play. I'd be the clown in class, you know. So because I just have, you know, I know how to flip stuff and tell stories or stuff like that. Yeah. But then I started working, you know. I went to school. Now in Bursa, you know, I had a scholarship, and then I went to university. Then I did not choose, so they picked for me because I was doing sciences. They decided I was gonna do food science. Then I did 1 year. Then I was like, this thing is not for me. Where's it gonna take me? So, okay, I want to do computer science. Trying to switch. They're like, no. We want more people in food science, so you stay there. And eventually, in my second year, I quit, and then I went to work. What I want to do now was translation.
Yeah.
And by doing translation, I was translating from Kinyarwanda to French to English because I spoke those 3 languages. But also I speak Swahili, I speak Lingala. So in terms of like understanding people and nuances, I was more advanced than most people around me because I've been traveling as well.
Yeah.
And then, but also that happened because before that, when I came to Rwanda, I started getting involved in a church. And in the church, I was in a choir. And in the choir, we were singing gospel music, like only vocals. Only vocals. So you have like 5 guys, only vocals. And you make harmonies and all these things. And then after the singing, they'll bring like pastors from different places, from Kinshasa, from Kampala, and I'll be the translator to translate from all those languages to local languages. Depends. If the audience is Swahili, I will do in Swahili. Yeah. If the audience is Kinyarwanda, I will do Kinyarwanda. So maneuver all that. Then my skill set was actually building without even knowing, you know.
Of course.
So then that's why I went to work at the memorial. Now I worked at the memorial as a translator, and from the translator, then I started to suggest how can you create like small movies or text or write stuff, just like creative stuff based on the stories that we've been collecting.
Yeah.
And then from then, I started to get psychologically really messed up because of the work I was doing without any psychological support. You know, like you're dealing with people's stories of the genocide on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I'm not equipped with this. I don't have any therapist. So at some point I quit, and then I started my company as a translation company.
Yeah.
Now the problem in our country is people don't value your work, and so they don't pay you on time. So you just find yourself in these things about
of asking,
I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna send my lawyer, stuff like that. You're like, come on, man, it's just like what $50 that it's been 2 months now, and the amount of time you're putting in to get paid.
I know.
It's actually not you should be paid for it actually, but, you know. So I was like, oh, man, I'm tired with this thing. And then in the process, I started venturing into theater. So be like, okay, there was this thing before Coup was the Film Institute. It was like Rwanda Cinema Center.
Yeah.
We have training in script writing. We have training in no. So I'll go.
Where was the Rwandan?
It was still we're talking about 2006, 2007, 2008, like that. So Eric Kabera still.
Oh, it was Eric Kabera.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually his house.
Ah, okay.
That he had, like, you know, like how you're here.
So that was before Coup.
That was before Coup. Actually, I named Coup even.
Oh, okay.
Later on, I'll tell you how.
A lot of stories.
Oh, yo, bro. The things that I've done in this country. The jingles that you grew up to listening that I've written.
No, I really heard that.
Yeah.
I think from Kabumbi. I've heard stories.
I've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm here with my
I've done a lot of stuff. I've met a bunch of people who are great. And, actually, you know, when you meet great people, you're just like, damn, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
You know? I want to try it too, you know? It's rare in this country to meet, I mean, within us, I think maybe people think I'm your generation, but I'm like one generation ahead. You know, I was born in 81.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 42. So most of my people that you see around me, they're probably in the 32, 35. And then there's you in the 25, 20. So we are like, these are the people that I hang out with.
28, huh?
You're 28, okay, fine. But these are the people that I hang out with. Because the people my age, it's like they're dead. They just decided it's going to be work and paying school fees and paying home, taking care of the bills, and that's it. You know, like life is over.
Yeah.
You know, like you press it. And then the question would be like, so if you had something that could pay your bills and do all that, what would you become now? What would you do?
That's true.
You know, they don't know.
Interesting.
They don't know. They never experienced to, you know. And then people who come to me like, me, I have zero talent. I'm like, how can you even say that?
No.
That's so, if I mean, like, no way. The universe will not make you and not give you any talent. It's impossible, you know? And so me, I've been exploring a lot of talents, you know, like, I don't limit myself. So I wake up and also people think it just happens like that, but you have to research, to study. You have to be, because my things, what I do actually is a lot of science involved in it, you know? For example, what I'm experimenting with now is like visuals. Yeah. So for example, I can take a webcam, place it here, put like a bucket, put some lighting below, and then put some paint, put some green, some stuff. So then flip it, and then it gives you an entire different thing that you did not see coming, I did not see coming. And it's being projected on the screen as I'm performing my poetry at the same time. So because I live in a city where not everybody speaks English or understand the exact things that I'm using, or the French that I'm using, or the Kenyan. So it's just like, how can I take you on this journey without using just words? Because words now, they become limited. If let's say in the UK or in the US and you're performing in English, of course everybody's gonna understand what you're talking about. It's like I'm in the US, right? And I'm performing in Swahili. How do I take people on the journey without them understanding Swahili? They'd be like, yeah, we love that African, you know, but what is the story that what is the feeling that I'm taking you through? Most important is the feeling for me. It's not just what I'm doing on stage, you know. That's why mostly my shows are very interactive. I'm trying to get people out of the, because people are used to, we are used to this format where there's one guy who comes on stage and tells you stuff, like he knows everything. But me, I'm like, no, we're here to do this show together. It's not even a show, it's an experience that we are having, both of us. You know, so if you bring an element, it's gonna change everything. Me, I have a whole thing. I got many things that I can do on stage, so that's why I'm like free to decide what is the next move, you know, all that. So I enjoy also being on stage like that. So if you ask me if I prefer stage or studio, it's gonna be stage always. So all this experimenting and learning and trying, in the process you start to meet people who have been doing some of the things that you've been doing for like the last 30 years. I'm talking Saul Williams, JIV. You know, our names are being, you know, said in different places. The Gael Faye stuff, and people who are doing great things, and they're like, yeah, you are one of us. Come perform with me. You know. So then you go and then you take the stage and you do it, and you realize you are actually at the level of doing it with them. But because you're here, people,
you don't see because the surrounding doesn't make you feel like you are who you are supposed to be. Actually, you are.
I mean, I think the problem with what I'm experimenting and experiencing here is you have to explain your art, but art is not to be explained; it's to be experienced.
Yeah,
you know.
You repeat that.
Art is not to be explained; it's to be experienced.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You go to an art gallery, you see stuff. You see 5, 10, 20, 50. You ask yourself, what am I witnessing? What am I experiencing? That is exactly the question. That's why you're there. You know, it's for you to find out how do you interpret things and why you're interpreting them that way. It's not for me to tell you when I put this color yellow, I'm in the sun and this is hope. No.
It's an experiment.
Every time you go, depending on your mood, and you look at that piece, the interpretation is going to change. It's not the piece.
Yeah.
It's the experience you're having within yourself, you know. And so we at the point where, okay, you have to categorize. You sing about love. You sing about But ask me, what do I do? What is my poetry about? My poetry is about life and beyond, you know. If I wake up today, I want to sing about what? An ant. That's it. I'll go deep. I do about bees sometimes, and I can do like and I'm like, yeah, this is interesting because I can relate to some things. No. And so if I give you my card, you'll see there's a part. It's like poet, actor, performer, experimentalist, because that is the part that I enjoy the most. It doesn't end. If you say poet, he uses words. No. Experimentalist, and then experimentalist is the mental part. You know, this is where we are. You know, we have to experience to push our brains to, you know, the brain stretches, man. You know,
stretch it.
Yeah, you gotta stretch it to a part. Well, like how where do we stop? Or, you know, I keep pushing the limits, and then people realize actually, not just it's fun, but we're also learning. We are learning who we are, where we are, you know, and discovering. It's about discovering, you know, like. Me, I'm in this life it's a journey, like what you're doing. It's a journey. I cannot tell you and go, I know exactly I come from, no. Or where I'm going, no. Or I know what I am, no.
It's just a journey.
I'm just here. It's just an experience, and then we expire.
Yeah.
And then more people come.
Yeah.
And then, we shift, you know, like we're still here. We're still organic, 100, you know, some of us.
Yeah.
But then we putting metal into your skin and putting wood, and then at some point it's gonna be part of you, and then you can even this idea of a human as a human, it's gonna change as well.
Yeah.
You know, so my job, I would say, is like maybe just get people to accept, you know, to embrace that we just here, you know, and to allow things to. You know, like
to be.
When I've realized that sometimes people tell them, okay, so we're going to one key show.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, I don't like his things. Yes, it's possible that you don't like my things, but he might refer to something I did in 2015.
People we involved.
Yeah, because what I did in 2016 or 17 is, I mean, it would be crazy that this is the same thing that I'm gonna do in 2023, you know? Or if I'm the same artist, you know, I'm like, wait a minute. Life has been happening. I've been having crazy experiences, and for me, it's about bringing these experiences to the stage, and to just be like, yeah, we're here, man. It's no biggie, and yeah, we're trying to learn. We make mistakes, you know. Like sometimes I bring my son, and my son. Like, what do you feel about him, you know, being exposed to this content? I'm like, he's my son after all, you know. I'm his dad, and if he doesn't know who I am, if I have to hide, you know, like when I change my clothes in front of him, you know, like I don't have nothing to hide, you know, like so we're having this experience all together. So it's just we block ourselves, like. Me, I'm Catholic. Me, I'm Protestant. Me, I'm Muslim. Me, I'm a dancer. Me, I'm a banker. But I'm like, oh, these are things that you do. Some of the things that you do, actually. When you're not doing them, who are you? You know?
Yeah.
When you're not doing... So if you get fired as a banker, yeah, and then you become a truck conductor. So you become a truck conductor. Now, would you refer to yourself as, I'm a truck conductor, former banker? People who meet you as a truck conductor, they'll be like, he's a truck conductor. But you're just somebody who drives a truck.
That's true.
You're just somebody who drives a truck. That's a job. It's just trying to make money, you know. Like, you could be home just playing PlayStation and making money at the same time, you know. So all these are just like, it's not even shapes, it's just like things that you do. And then people think we become what we do, but it's just things that we do.
Just things that we do.
It's just things that we do.
Huge.
Huge. Just like the universe. Everything that's happening on the universe level is also happening inside of you. On a very tiny level. Also on a massive level. I mean, if you speak science, you know, a cell is like a lot is happening in a cell, but you can't see it even. A lot is happening. Now, the numbers of cells that you have in your body.
My God.
All of them working, doing stuff, and even when you're asleep. Now, even beyond the cells, the mind, when you're asleep, the mind is doing stuff even, you know? So who are you in your dreams, for example?
Wow.
You know?
So now,
yeah.
Now, for me, I'm really curious to always know, because we're always different generations, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, when I go back to myself when I was young, I remember starting to dance, you know. I used to play football when I was young. I always, even today, I play sometimes when I have time. And then starting was not easy. In terms, me, I was having fun. You know, I was having fun. I was on TV always, on my computer, YouTube, dancing, watching videos. But then there was this thing of, I feel like it's not maybe only in Rwanda, it's worldwide, you know, this thing of underestimating artists.
We are not essential.
In
COVID, that's where actually they made it clear. We are not essential. You know, when there's like people who are essential would go to work, would do stuff, and non-essential is mostly us artists.
Then I wonder,
yeah,
because sometimes this is actually what I was talking with the team behind earlier. You know, someone was giving me a gig, and I'm like, why do people contact me when it's one day before the event happens? And I'm like, they prepare a whole conference, and then me, I'm the last option, and then they want me to give them 2 performances of 10 minutes each.
And you're not getting paid? Probably.
No, I have to get paid. Yeah. But the thing is, why do I come last minute?
Yeah, because they don't consider you as part of the priorities.
Yes, and then also, I think people don't actually see that it's a lot of work also.
Yeah, also it's the way they contact you. They'll be like, no, it's like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you're done. You get your check, you go.
Yeah.
So you have things that you've done on YouTube real quick, and that person is speaking like, do you realize that it takes, actually what people don't know about performance is, every performance takes your entire life to put into that performance. Yeah. Everything that you have learned until that day, you put it into that performance.
Because you wanna give
your best, you know. And then, like, do you realize what that means? Like, I'm giving you my best self right now. Nobody else is having it. And then you're treating it.
It's a unique experience.
It's a unique experience. But the way you're treating it, I'm like, actually, yeah. Besides the fact that maybe we broke most of the time, we take some of these gigs. Me, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this.
Same here.
I'm not doing this because the energy is wrong in the first place. This is the type of thing that you go to, and then they probably like me. They'll be like, you perform when people are having dinner. I'm like, no. If I don't have people's attention, I'm not doing this. You know, no. Put some music, and then they will eat, and then after that, I will perform.
Definitely.
Yeah, because you don't understand what this thing is about.
Period. You know.
Yeah.
So no, honestly, because for me, it's very important on this podcast that I hear what different artists think, you know. As a dancer personally, I always feel like the last in the industry. Yeah. When it comes, like, For example, I've had these experiences when it comes to music videos. That's why you're not gonna see me a lot of music videos. You know, you are there as a choreographer or as a dancer, but the way you are being treated by fellow artists, and for me, I'm like, you can't even break bones the way I break them. Why are you treating me like this? You know. Also, in general, for me, I'm sure you've seen some of my complaints online. You know, man, I'm 28 right now. You know, many of the people. If there is something I'm lucky, I've documented my whole life.
Yeah.
So if you go to my YouTube, you'll see me at 12 years old doing a video. You know? So, man, I've had a frustration for more than 10 years.
But you've seen mine as well.
Yeah.
You've seen my complaints as well.
Yeah. So my frustrations have been the work environment that I grew up in, you know? Because for me, honestly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my dad, for my mom. These are people, when I started to dance and everything, they never understood it. Because they didn't grow up in this lifestyle. But they never blocked me from doing what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know, I did my university, I finished my university, I do everything. And then, I'm not gonna mention names here. I'm not a snitch. I'm not here to say, you did this.
Yeah,
you did
it's
this.
not that personal.
But honestly, for me, I also believe that if we really want to grow and we really want to make this scene grow, it's also sometimes to be lucky to have platforms like this to express ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know? And having you, I take advantage because we are different generations, you know? And honestly, the frustrations I had was the fellow treatment of fellow artists. The treatment that was, I was like, oh my God, these people have kids. How can they treat me like this? I can be their son.
Yeah.
How can they treat me like
That's
this?
horrible.
You know, people, I understand. In terms of professionally, you can treat me like shit. I'm still young. It's not even, it's not doable.
Yeah, it should not. It should not.
It should not happen.
It should not.
But now, I'm talking about this frustration. You know, I started to perform professionally when I was 12 on stage.
Yeah.
And then I'm working with people. These are people who can be my parents.
Yeah.
No contract, no negotiation, bro. No negotiation of a salary. You just come because they know you need money. You just come, they don't give you time. You practice. After practice, they tell you, you're gonna go on stage. You go on stage. After stage, they tell you, no, we're gonna pay you in 2 days. You wait for the call. They pay you. Maybe you had expectations in your head. They pay you less. And then that's what did it build? Anger issues, my bro. I have anger issues.
Yeah,
I'm gonna confess. Honestly, bro, I have anger issues.
Yeah.
And these are anger issues I express in my dance. I express them when I'm here, I'm talking. Because seeing all of that, it didn't actually make me give up. It made me want to pursue more.
Yes.
I went to university, I was like, how am I gonna support myself? I'm gonna do mass communication so that all these people, I'm not gonna go on TV station. I'm gonna create my own platform. I'm gonna talk. Yeah. So now, if they wanna turn off me, they have to kill me.
So this episode called The Journey, The Revenge.
The revenge, bro. But honestly, to be honest, if there is something I've told myself when I turned 25, I told myself I wanted to be better. I wanted to be a better human, better artist, better lover, better in everything.
Yes.
Every day, I want to be better.
Yes.
As you said, we make mistakes. Nobody is a saint. But then the thing I was like, for me, when I talked online about the generation clashes, it was a real one. Because I really took time to research. And I'm really good at that. Because I came to realize there are people who grew up seeing me in the scene. It's like they raised me, they saw me. And then I have these frustrations that are growing. You know, the more you grow, the more experience, the more you're exposed to different projects. Some people treat you so nice. People you don't even expect, actually. And fellow artists treat you like shit.
Fuck them.
And then me, I'm like, how come this is real? But then for me, with my vision, I'm like, we can all win, actually. It's a big playground.
Yeah, but you know what I think about it. So me, I'm dealing with two different ways. Okay. First of all, as an artist, I always consider myself as a big brother.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that the people that I'm working with are treated fair in whatever way. Niba ari ukugura imineke, niba ari amata, if it's sharing water, we will make sure that you understand we are on this journey together.
Yeah.
We will depend on the ticket sales. You push the posts, I push the posts. Whatever we comes out with, we'll split it.
Yeah.
Bro, I go to shows and everybody's paid, but I have like 20K on my mom. This is what's left, you know. But I'm so happy that at least everybody's paid. So for me, when that happens, this is a huge successful show. Yeah. I hate walking out of a show and having to tell people, you know what, I'm gonna hustle another week so I can pay you for this show. And it happens because of where we are. Yeah. Bro, I've been doing this for a minute. And everybody who's been following for the last, at least, bro, since 2011, I'm doing poetry in this country. Yeah. This has been 12 years. It's in 2016, I went professional. I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't put enough time into this. Let me give it my 200% and let's see what happens. So that's when I went in. Yeah. Because when I wake up in the morning, all I'm thinking, how do I make my art better? So I learned electric guitar. So I'm learning how to program drums. Now I bought a piano. Now I'm learning. I'm always learning stuff. How do I elevate the experience of myself learning? Yeah. Because you know, back in the day, I would step on stage and be like, "Hey, bring a guitar, play something." What does that mean? Play something. What is the music? Go play something West Africa. What does that mean? You know. So now I'd be like, "Hey, I can give him chords." I'm like, "This is these are the chords." Or I play a little something. This is there. So you're like, okay, I know what you mean. And this is, you know, like a few things. You gotta know, because what we need to be, where we need to be actually as artists, is to be in a position to say, yes, I'm gonna do this, and no, I'm not gonna work like this. This is not the condition that I'm gonna work in. It's as simple as that. Period. When we start to say, no, you're not gonna treat me like that, I'm walking out, then you're starting to say, okay. Then they'll be like, of course they will say that, but then they'll go back, they're trying to find a replacement, they will not find any. Yeah. You know, they'll find somebody that's probably trained again, because we have a small community, and that somebody's probably not as professional as they thought, you know, because also they want to manage them, they're not managers, you know, so it's just going to be not as good as what you could have provided if they were a bit nicer. Because also, we're not asking for much. No. What we're asking mostly, in general, we're asking is just respect. Yeah. Respect that I'm here and that I chose. Me, I sat down with these people doing Visit Rwanda. This is like maybe 2017, 18. I'm like, you work at daytime, right? Yeah. I work at nighttime. I pay bills, I pay taxes, I do whatever a citizen is supposed to do. But if you're not letting me live in the city, where the city of mine, actually, that we love, to enjoy it and to be able to live from what I want at nighttime, what are we doing? If I have to be on stage with a fear that the police is going to come with AK-47s to be like, stop making music because your decibel has reached 89, you know, instead of 80, which is like more sleek. I mean, bruh, why are we doing this city like this? What is the city? You want to sleep at 7 p.m., go to the village. That's where you belong. It's a city. It's a city. A city is supposed to work 24 hours. We don't have time or the luxury to sleep at 7 p.m., wake up at 6. Not all of us. You know, you could, because you have your security. And I have no insurance. I have nothing. That means I have to work at least 4 times more than you do to be able to live the basics. And I do. And I still don't even get the basics. We live with no savings. We're still borrowing 5K from friends. After 10 years of all this. This is unfair. No, definitely. And then when you are frustrated, you express your frustration. But yarates. Yarasaze. Or he's just Muzungu. Or whatever. They start calling you names. And then the problem is, now being the fact that you are frustrated, you're living a life you don't want, and then you feel like, why are they not valuing what I'm doing? You know, you get in a very dark phase. Definitely. You know, I've been through those phases. And then I express those phases. Like what you say. You create through them. You put them in your body and then you give them back. Boom. And now, Dragon Ball. And now, they get scared to take it down. I'm like, come on, you know? Yeah. So then what? You are freeing yourself in the process and you are growing, you're maturing. It's like you're going through fire. You know, you're getting better and better and better. Now, when you step outside Rwanda and you meet people who know what you're doing, you see the level of respect.
You're overwhelmed.
You're overwhelmed. You cannot believe this thing. You reach the airport, everything is planned for, and they're taking care of you every minute till the end. These are people you just met for the first time because they saw you online and they're like, this guy is changing the world. People who look at you like that because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're changing the world in like, there is this thing called like reality, arimoto, ariye. These are basic things that we see, but there's way much more than that. And we're telling people, if you tap into that, your life is going to be better. How? Look how I'm tapping into mine. This is my thing that I discovered by trying, yeah? But if you try yours as well, you might be free, you know? Because that's what we're about, like inspiring others to be free enough to try stuff in this life.
Definitely.
You know? So now when we live in a place where we feel like we're doing something wrong, you know, they make us feel like we're doing something wrong. You know, of course, they don't know who they're messing with now. We are very powerful.
It's so powerful.
Yo, we can even do stuff that you will not understand and will blow up in 10 years.
Definitely.
Yeah, we do stuff like that, you know. Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us. And then there's questions that I expect. Like, for example, you know, I give you an example, human beings, right? Yeah. So you're walking, you know, when you're performing, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
So I'm walking with my son, and this guy, sneaky guy, he's on a bicycle pushing like a bunch of load. Obviously, he needs help.
Yeah.
So as normal, as a human being, give him a little push. But you're not gonna be the guy who'll be in front of the guy and be, hey, look at this stupid guy. He thought he was gonna push the bicycle. Oh my goodness, you're so dumb. You're so crazy. You know, because that's not the way. No. That's not the way.
Just push.
Just give him a push and see how life changes after for both of you.
Yeah.
Everybody be happy after.
Yeah.
It's just like 2 minutes second.
And you know the crazy thing is in our culture. Man, there are so many things that can inspire us through our culture.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know? So, you know, now, honestly, it's not secret. There is a lot to work on.
And that's a lot. But also we're doing the work.
We're doing the work. And I feel like being here, we're doing it. Honestly, man, for me, to be honest, I'm really proud of myself.
Amen. Yes.
I come from
I'm proud of you too.
I come from a Muslim family. Man, I've done a lot. I've toured the world. I've managed to tour Brazil. I've done Europe tour on my own. Yeah. No fans. Yeah. Bro, I'm a Black Panther. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm doing the East African tour. I just did 10 shows. No, 11 shows in 4 weeks. You know? And now I'm moving on to the next country. Because I'm like, I signed up for this.
Yeah.
Now, the conversation that I'm having with people, I'm like, do you see where this is going? Do you want to be a part of it? This is the question I'm asking people. Do you want to be a part of it? This is what I would assign you as do you agree that you want to be this and this and this and this and this? And then people will be like, man, I think we live in a society where most people are scared.
So scared.
And even the people that you thought wouldn't be.
They are.
Oh man, people are scared to like take a step. You know, I'm like, yo, I've been doing these steps for the last 10, 11 years. Well, I'm asking you just to, no, we're stepping into I've done hills, I've done mountains, I've done ocean, I've done all this hard shit.
Yeah.
Now we just like this place where it's a bit flat and just I need somebody to walk with me. Do you want to be that person? They're like, man, you know, I'm not quite sure, but I like what you do. Cool. Yeah, a lot of people like what I do, but you know, are you? So now this is the thing. And then in the process, if we don't find, we got our ancestors, we got ourselves, we got too much power, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But also the thing is, the thing that you want to achieve, if I achieve this, my goal is gonna get closer to my goal real quick, you know? But then you feel like if I don't have the support I need to achieve this, it's gonna take me a long walk to get to this, and it's so unnecessary, you know? But then you realize at some point, maybe that's your journey as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where we are, it's meant to teach you, and it becomes, these are what we're talking about. If we were not struggling for the last 10 years, this journey
wouldn't be here.
It wouldn't be here, it wouldn't make sense, you know, because this is what, and also you realize it's not about us, you know, you, me, we're doing this so that the next one have it better.
Yeah. And they have things also to do for the next one.
Then when they have frustrations, they're like, these guys express the frustration. Who were they working with? Who was pulling the plugs back then? You know?
The gatekeepers.
And who are the gatekeepers now? You know?
So many.
Because now, man, there's so many ways to do things. You have the technology. This would be a radio station. I've never been invited to a radio station in this country. You know, the way I go come do an interview, radio station. No, I only have my guy, the TV station, only in the same way. Le Miroir. That's all I go all the time. Only one guy who believes in you. And you know, can you believe? And he's not even Rwandese.
Burundian.
But he's just like, you're doing cool stuff, you know? Everybody else will be looking from the sideline and be like, shush. I'm like, yeah, we don't have time for this, man. We need to work and do things, get out of the way, and then... So right now, I produce, you know, and every time I make a show, people get jobs, they get paid, their life get better, they learn and they grow. Now this is small scale with almost no money. Now think about the fact that you started putting money and then I show you how I actually changed the economy of the entire country.
Big.
And then you're like, no. What do you mean no? We've been doing it without money. Do you want to make money? Because this is also it's actually a money making machine at the same time. I'm like, you know what? Your mind doesn't have good energy. Fuck it. We'll make our own and we'll do whatever we're supposed to do, you know? So then when we grow, actually I like it. You know, it's like I'm inspired by Jay-Z. Jay-Z's story is really amazing. Jay-Z could not get signed because they said he was a whack rapper. They did not give him a deal. So it's like, you know what? I'll give myself the deal.
Now he has Rock Nation.
Now he has title. Now he's big. Pushing the entire, pushing Africa even, you know?
Yeah.
So people like when I'm going through my struggles and I'm listening to J. Cole, I could not pay rent for like 6 months. I'm like, God, this is normal, man. This is not, I am not so special. This is how it goes, you know? Yeah. Until you make it, then it's just meant to teach you.
Yeah.
Because
make you humble,
what you realize, it make you humble, it make you also realize that we have an issue. Okay, I say on a more meta level, it's like people who have kids who are maybe who have too much energy. What we do in the house, like, sit down. Or if you have a dog that's hyper, sit down, you know, because you want to control the energy.
Yeah.
But this is not energy to be controlled. This is energy to be like, wow, you know what? How did you do that? Teach me, because they have more energy that you don't have.
Yeah.
You know, so you're lucky that energy is in your presence. So you should be better at, you know, like, wow, you do things that at your age that I could not imagine I could do myself. This is how we should be looking at it and then learn from it, because now even when we grow up as adults, people, I think adults think that they become managers for other people's lives, or you know, or to you know, it's like they have a mixer and then they be like.
Do you think that's how people start to feel? Like they are responsible to try to manage?
No, this is how people do, you know? I mean, how many times have you heard in your life what we told? How many times people have told you to be careful? People you don't even know. Be careful about what? Because you are scared because of your fears that I don't have. No, me, I used to blog a lot, remember back in the day, because I mean, I'm very triggered by inequalities, you know, like in our societies, and sometimes they're very flagrant, you know, because everything is obvious. Everything is like super rich here, super poor here. And the clashes. You go to a cocktail where everybody's drinking champagne, but they refuse to pay you, you know.
So funny.
And you're like, one bottle of champagne already pays for me and my 5 guys, you know. Also, they don't give you a table. You have to eat like somewhere in the kitchen, or you know, they give you. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And then you also, there's somebody that we love, we appreciate so much the work. Fuck you, man. That's not how you treat people that you appreciate, you know?
Hypocrisy.
Fuck it. Because it's not about what's happening, it's about people want to show that I know cool people, I know. You know, these artists, like all these stars that are coming to Rwanda, we never see them actually. You know.
When would you see them?
But this is the thing. Why are they here to experience if they're not, you know, like...
You're not gonna meet local artists.
You know, like, there's no somebody be like... And also think about it. This is potential. So, like, you can make... If it's about money, you can also make money out of it. So now this comes and it's like, show me the people who are doing maybe stand-up comedy or poetry or music. Hey, I'm gonna organize a night. You know? Who are the party organizers of the city? Who are the event planners of the city? To be like, okay, because for us as artists, we're doing the work. Pushing. On a daily, I wake up, I learn stuff, I do. And then I become the event planner, I become the producer, because I don't see anybody who can elevate this experience more than I can do at this level. Yet I wish there was. If somebody's like, I'm gonna take care of, you will see the performance that we'll do, bro. You will see the things that we'll do. Because so far, that's why we go to shows and that's why I call my shows experimental mostly, because, man, I came at 2 p.m., set up the entire place, did the sound, did the lighting, did the did the lineup, did the By the time it's time to perform at 8 p.m., I am tired. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm still giving you a show. You know? So the show is not even just me being on stage performing. Every detail of it is an experience. You know? But then, like, if somebody would take care of that, and then I come with like a 1 hour thing, I'm like, I'm gonna blow your mind with this 1 hour. I am not there. I have never done it. You know? Because people are like, I live where people don't see the... I'm like, really? You mean you don't see what this thing, what it can do?
It's all about.
You know? But yet, give them a phone, they want to play music from Nigeria. So, I mean, how do you think they got to that level?
They got support from their own people.
Exactly. But here we are, tearing each other. Hey.
But honestly, for me, you know, it makes me go back to the point of we as artists, we as creatives, and being in the same team, you know. And I feel like we're not.
We're not.
And I cannot see this evolving while we artists are not on the same page. People are always gonna see things differently. But people have common sense. People can always at least respect each other. Why? Because this makes me go to the point I said of that generational clash. We all have egos, artists. I have my own ego.
I'm sure. All of us.
And it's normal. And it's what pushes
what
us.
Also makes us be like, I'm the best.
I'm the shit.
You know?
I'm the god. All of that stuff puts you up. Because you're facing so much demons that you're fighting with, you know? And then, while you're fighting with that, while you're fighting with people who are not open-minded, who you're trying to open their vision, who are still blind a little bit, fellow people who sees you, who know what you're feeling, they want to put you down. They want to put your elbow on your head. Insecurities. And then I'm like, we all have insecurities. It's normal. It's a human thing, you know? But the thing is, for me, where I really get shocked was, this is especially for growing up in Nyamirambo, man. So much stereotypes. Me, I'm gonna talk about the dancing because I'm a dancer. You know? That's, I do a lot of things, but that's my primary focus. As a dancer, I've always felt this frustration that people look us down.
As dancers.
Even fellow dancers who are maybe in traditional, contemporary dance, they look at like this. Especially when you're from Nyamirambo, they look at you like this. Indiscipline. Okay. Every group will have people who are indisciplined.
What does that even mean, man? What does that mean? Because I've seen how you treat people at your dance classes. First of all, it's intimate, it's respectful, and you're a very good teacher, you know.
Thank you.
You cannot be disciplined, of course. You're there on time, you plan it,
Is there stereotypes I'm talking about?
These are let me tell you, like what I said. When you have an energy that people want to control instead of like learning from it, it clashes. Me and you, like this, we walk into a place, problem. They will have problems because we reflect.
I cannot manage
we,
the energy.
we reflect something that take them out of the usual. So, and then the approach to life in general, because so there's two ways to approach life. One with hope, one with fear. If you approach it with hope, then everything you turn into a positive vibe.
Yeah.
If you approach it with fear, you start to making it something bad. You see what I mean? We can step outside nature. Me, I'll be like, oh my goodness, these stars are amazing. And then somebody's like, there could be somebody hiding somewhere trying to kill me.
They don't.
We are both
different.
of us in the same night. Same. Rhumba. Like we have, and also there is, I think also it's rooted in the religion as well, practices, you know. People to feel like, my religion is the right one because he says if somebody looks like that, they are evil. Yeah. So they look already into a prism of judgment. I'm like, religion should not teach you to judge. Actually, your book is about love till the end. It's not about judging people. You shall not judge. You're not God. Who are you to judge? You know. But when you judge somebody straight up, like, the fuck does that mean? This is where the city began. Honestly. This is where the coolest people are. This is where the coolest shit is, you know? And also this is where you want to eat. This is where you want to hang out.
Food is a food.
You want to learn the language, you know? Bro. But then at the same time, you want to act like you're some superior. No, you're not. You're not. It's just, you're complex, you know?
Yeah.
Complex. When I was in Rwanda, we even have like this one thing or something, you know? Because you don't have it. You don't. It's like hating outside the club.
That's true.
That's what it is. So those you like, you know what? I'm not even giving you my time. Like, you don't deserve my time.
Talking about, I'm not gonna give you my time. That's my energy.
That's what it is.
Man, I've been frustrated for such a long time. I'm happy. I put it out, my frustration. It's there. Honestly, there's this woman. I mentioned her, and many artists were like, oh my God, I feel the same. I've experienced the same thing for so many years. I'm like, then why don't you talk? Why don't you speak up? It's okay. Then I will speak up. After doing that, this woman has the audacity to reply me. And then I'm like, okay, you are treated like a legend in this country, but you even reply me like that, knowing I'm gonna screenshot and put it online? Are you even smart? I'm like, yeah. We treat you like this because we also work in hard conditions. That's why we treat you like shit. And I'm like,
no
really?
Way.
Bro, I have messages.
No way.
I have everything. Maybe when I'm not gonna do this. You never know somebody which contacts they have.
It's not about that, but also
honestly, bro. Let me be honest with you. Me, I love my life.
Yeah.
I speak up. I'm not a politician. I'm not interested to speak about politics, but when it comes to art, I'm free. And also why I say this, man, I watch a lot of movies. And I believe also directors, they do things thinking that these things exist or can exist.
Of course.
So me, I'm afraid some people really don't have good intentions. So I'm not gonna mention people's names, but she knows, and I'm sure she's a fan. She follows me, you know. And for me to see that, this is a woman who has 2 adult women. She's a mama. You know? And then she does things, and I see that, I'm like, oh my God, you could be my mom. And you do this? How do you expect me to respect you? And then you have this mass of artists who are afraid to speak up. But they are expecting to grow. And I'm like, you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow when you don't speak up, when you keep those things.
Let me tell you one thing. Okay, so I think there was a time when I realized there's gonna be like 2 types of artists in this country, mostly. There might be more, but the way I saw it. So there were the artists that were like, yeah, we're here, we are born artists, we're here to experience and to do whatever. And then people act like they don't listen. And then these guys continue to do their thing. And then what they did was, we're gonna create the structure of a certain type of artist that we want to represent us. Who will wear what we want, who will say what we want, who will do what we want. And because you are grown, you are, you are raised in that framework, then of course, after 4 years of, hey, see what we paid your school fees, we did that, what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
So they control you.
Yeah.
Now, these are not, so this becomes like institutional artists.
Mama.
Yeah?
Institutional artist.
Yes. So you artists as a job.
Mama.
You're an artist as a job.
Mm.
So we need a dancer. Yeah, we've trained this dancer, come here. And then you realize actually this is the same guy who'll be like, yeah, I'm a dancer, but I have a job. Mostly.
True.
Because they cannot just jump into, I'm a full-time artist, this is where everything that I'm going to do depends on, and you respect me for this.
Yeah.
No. You know, so these are, yes, massa. Yeah, yes, please say. And this is why the other type of artists will not be invited to perform in the setups. Yet they know they are the dopest. And everybody knows. Of
course they know.
And everybody knows, you know. So me, I'm like, I'm glad that this is actually, there's like a line in between that we actually see it, you know. And guess what? Those institutional artists, they respect these other rebels like crazy, you know. You know, because they're like, yeah, you're living it. Me, when I jumped into full time, my first question was, can I live from the art? And the answer today is yes. Super nice.
Yeah.
I've traveled to the point where I discovered a place like this is my home now because of the vibration. That if I did not make that choice, I would still be frustrated here, fighting over peanuts and some whatever, wasting my energy. You know, right now my energy, like I feel like it's in the right place.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. My projects are super successful. The people that I'm deciding to work with, because at some point, you know, like that's what, when you make a call, I'm not gonna ask twice. Yeah, it's Manzi Mbaya calling, I'm coming, I'm pulling up, you know. If Nganji calls, you know, like these are the people that we've been on for like maybe 5-6 years. We know each other, we know who's doing it. We know the energy we're on. So whenever we make the call, we'll do the work, we put the work together.
Yeah.
Of course, if I do a project, I will not treat you like, you know, I will treat you as Manzi Mbaya will treat me at the same time, you know. So no, Sanga, those others, you know, because they want to treat it like robotic, press the button, dance, you know, like an ATM dispenser, press, get the cash, without even investing into you, you know. I'm like, so I mean, me, I tell you one thing. So this was maybe 2016, before I made the jump. Actually, it's actually right after that event that I made the jump into full time. So we in the stadium. So for me, there was one event. It was actually, you know, when I say the a turning point. Yeah. So from 2011, publishing on Facebook, performing a spoken word. By the way, all these years I've been performing a spoken word. Yeah. I've never been paid a dime. Not even, you know. Sometimes I'm like, yo, Dan, I'm low on cash. Please pay my transport. Pay like 5K or stuff like that. Right? Every time I go there, for me, it'll be like, this is a very good opportunity to experiment on the audience what I wrote.
Yes.
So you have to look at things from like, what do I gain from this experience? You know what I mean? Yeah. So for example, that person treating you like shit or whatever, you can just decide to like block the person and be like, you know what? You don't matter in this process. I'm looking at, if I do this in front of this audience, like how does he elevate my experience? Yeah. Right? Because this is bad energy, but it's not gonna kill my vibe. No, right?
You know what you want.
You know what you want. But if you realize this is just not, it's not worth it, you're like, you know what? This is the moment I learned one thing. So I'm in the stadium, we're rehearsing with a big ballet, and me, you say I'm gonna perform poetry behind the ballet and they're dancing on my thing. I'm like, whoa, it's some legendary shit. Yeah. I'm jumping on the opportunity. They'd be like, how much? Like, this time there's money, we'll pay you 80K. I mean, 80K what? Right, these francs. Like, wow. Mom. Back then, I was still, I had a job. I was still being paid. I was okay, right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Fine, I don't care, you know. There's even better. They'll do 100. So, I mean, like, so what's the program? They tell rehearsals, you have to rehearse at least 3 times. I'm like, wow. Okay. So I take the time off from my daily job to go rehearse. Get to the rehearsal. It's not ready. It's not planned. It's kavuyo. Spend 2 hours, leave, waste time. The next day, waste time. The third day, I was like, I'm not doing this. you know. So I'm like, okay, we only rehearsed the maximum like 15 minutes, right?
Wow.
And then the day of the event, I'm like, you are going to learn something today. So there was a guy, you know how we do cheap stuff, man. We really do cheap events. Like, yo, if people, the entire world is watching. This is it was Chan, you know,
Oh my God.
African Championship opening. So you have entire millions of people watching. Now, are you really gonna take this experience and reduce it to like an event you mukarere? That's what you know, because the person behind it is not an event organizer. They're not thinking about what is the experience we're giving the world right now.
Yeah.
You know, when they're opening elsewhere in the world, like what it is, people prepare for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm just telling my experience. And me, I'm a single guy. There was the whole things. You look at the rehearsal, you look at how they're treating people. You're like, no water, no pose, no coordinator. It's just like, cover your stuff. But also, you want to act like we are the most organized people in the world. No. So yeah, I mean, you realize the way they're treating you as an artist because, you know, you're supposed to portray something, right? So for me, because I realized actually mostly around Wagwamagara, they call you because somehow it's not because of what you do or what you represent, but the association that they have with you. Yeah. He's smart. He speaks 3 languages. This is who we are. This cute. This nice.
Yeah.
You know. But what am I saying exactly? Yeah. And then at that show, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're gonna learn something today. So I get there, and then it's time to do the show. And they bring me this Mishanana clothes and some Tony Hilfiger big shirt, Chinese shit. I'm like, this is not how I plan to do my setup, and this is not how it represents what I'm going to perform. But I'm like, you know what? Let's not fight off these petty things.
Yeah.
Let's go on the show. So I go on stage. When it's time for me to perform, I undress everything and it drops. I'm all black. Totally off script.
Yeah.
Now I do my thing as I'm supposed to do, as I feel I'm supposed to do it. Bam, 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 bam. And then I walk off the stage, and then I walk off the stuff. And then you know when you Vuemuri stage?
Yeah.
Somebody who, you know, it's like, it's not who hired me, but who recommended. It's like, Eric, what the fuck have you just done? I look at him like, who did you think you called up? You know, who did you think, what do you think this thing is about? You know? Because me, I'm not a conformist. I'm not here to do exactly as you say. I am an artist. I provide a certain setting that you now start with here. Okay, what is he talking about? Even ask that question. It's really good. You know, why did he do that? Ask yourself, and what does that make me feel? Why are you angry? Why are you behaving that way? Because me, I'm done with my job. And actually, if there's an impact, then it worked. Yeah. What does that mean? You know? And so another problem was after the payment. Even that 100K I told you to get it. I had to write a whole blog post on Facebook and start telling people I'm tired of this shit. Pay me.
Oh my God.
Yo, it took about 2 months to get that 100K from one of the biggest events in this country. Right? And I was like, you know what? At this point, we are done. Don't you ever. I started printing t-shirts. Yeah. About exposure. If I hit exposure, I'm gonna lose my composure. I was writing it. I was like, don't call me for no money performance type of thing.
Oh my God.
Right? This was 2016. I was angry as hell, you know? And I was like, I just quit my job, you know? And I'm trying to pay rent and also continue to do the things that I love. And I thought you would support because you're inviting me with a platform and you have the budget. And now you don't even give me the budget and you don't even respect my art. So why am I here? So all that was also the reaction towards the setup that you're creating. Yeah. You know, now they don't invite me because when they invite me, what are they going to perform? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I perform. I get on stage and do the things that I'm supposed to do. Are you okay with that? No, because they want to come to rehearsal and see exactly what you perform. But they don't know who they're messing with because I can tell exactly what I perform, get on stage and change the whole thing. What are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Unless you cut my microphone on stage.
Cut it. If then you cut it, then you are the problem. People will be like, why are you giving us half of a show? Like, you know? So this is the thing. Control. This is what matters here.
Yeah.
They want to control, but you cannot control the arts. You should give up, actually.
Yeah.
You should just give up. The more you're trying to control it, the more it's going to be harder on you, harder on the society, and the outcome is going to be very aggressive.
Yeah.
And this is not the platform. This is not the energy.
No.
We're here to build, to construct, to make better things, you know.
Yeah.
But if you make it hard on us, we will also make, you know, the outcome is also going to be hard.
Definitely.
You know.
It comes in different shapes.
It comes in different shapes. So for me, I think what I did now in the process was to make sure that I have everything that I need, which means, first of all, am I the artist that I've always wanted to be? You know? Can I step on stage and kill it anytime they call my name? That's the work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So which means every day, bro, I wake up, I play a little music, I write a few lines, I rehearsed a little bit, and then I go about my day. This is my routine.
Yeah.
Because my job is to be good at this. Anytime is showtime, you gotta be ready.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So now when you have that, you have the confidence that you're living the best. You're giving the best that you can.
Yeah.
That's number one. Now the second part is that people who realize that you're really giving the best, they will start to value.
Definitely.
Those who don't, what they will do in time, they'll be like, okay,
we can't deal with this.
I don't want to deal with this. I know you're great, but I don't want to deal with this. You're not
can't
controllable.
handle
I can't handle you. I cannot control. No. Or maybe they will send somebody and I'm like, yeah. I'm an independent artist. You talk to me straight. And I give you, bro, I have a website where I give you quotation and one click, everything is detailed. And we're very professional, by the way.
Of course.
Super professional. And now when they realize you're professional and they want to downplay you, and you're like, Don't play me. This is not what it's about. You know what I'm about? Yeah, sign the contract, give me a contract. This is supposed to be this way. Pay me on time, treat me, give me as the basics that I need. And now, ask me if I've delivered when it's there at the show.
Period.
Because then you're gonna ask your audience. They will always talk about us. Always. You know, because we about this life, you know? So then over time, I mean the problem is here because they don't pay us. Or pay us peanuts or treat us bad. Eventually we're gonna step out. We're gonna go away. We're gonna go to a place where we're treated fairly and nice and grow and get paid. And when we have the money, maybe if there's some love left, we'll come back and invest here. If not, the world is our place. We'll invest wherever we loved and appreciated. You know, it doesn't have to be about a specific, piece of land or geography. I'm a citizen of the world. Anywhere is my place. You know, I can decide to live wherever I feel like this is my comfort. This is where I'm appreciated.
Your life, your decision.
Yeah, I decide. Yeah. But also, all this comes from this frustration, like. Why am I home but I'm not appreciated at home, in my own home?
Yeah.
You know? And maybe actually it's me telling me this is home, but it's not home.
Point.
You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just forcing upon myself because, my ancestors come from here, my history is from here, but maybe my home is actually somewhere else. You know? Because right now, where I live, that's where I feel it's home, and it's not even in Rwanda.
As I always say, it's the journey.
It's a journey.
We keep enjoying ups and downs. Now, my God, this was inspiring. You know, we went through a lot of journeys, a lot of scenarios in life that are actually reality that we're going through. And I'm happy that you're here. Now, I always want piece of advice. You know, there's so much you can share with the people listening to us, you know, either artists or non-artists, you know. So what would you share, like, in terms of inspiring,
to the
especially
artists,
especially artists
or people? Okay, so to the artists, I think I'm not great at giving advices because I'm also learning in the process. But one thing that I've realized, for you to get your respect, is to be so good that you can say no to certain things.
Yeah.
And when you say no, every replacement that's gonna come after you is gonna be below your standard.
Yeah.
And they will be like, why didn't you hire the other person in the first place? Then it's on them
to explain.
It's on them to explain. You know?
Yeah.
He did not like that. You know? But also, we don't tell the truth. But the truth will be, I did not like the conditions. I don't fuck with the subject. I don't like the topic. I don't like the environment. You also have to set up your own standards. You know? You'd be like,
Yeah.
I want these conditions. I want my team to be treated this way. I want a 3-5-star hotel. I want this and this and this. I want the room to be like this. I want rehearsals. How many days of rehearsals? I want my people to be paid this way. I want this technician. I want that technician. I want this choreographer. I want this. That. You have a whole thing, a whole list, and then you just give it to them professionally. This is the budget. Yeah. If you meet all these conditions, I will give you a dope ass show. This is what I decided for.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, we're not working. Yeah. Right? But to be at that level, that means you have been in a place where you can cover your basic needs.
Yeah.
Now we are aware we're not treated so good to cover our basic needs. So everybody's struggling for that peanut, for that crumb, breadcrumbs. But it's about dignity at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go for the breadcrumbs and they treat you like shit, and then you'll be like, "This is what I deserve." You ask yourself the question.
Of course.
You know.
Of course, definitely.
You know, like so you get devalued, then you get frustrated, and also you don't enjoy the money. Like everything is just like boom. It's a negative actually. There's no positive in what you did. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe the performance, whatever was the learning experience. It's always the learning experience. But remember. You are the artist who decide.
Yeah.
You know, your value. You decide your value. There is no 5 minutes choreography. How much you decide?
Of course.
You know,
1 hour. Value.
Who decide? You decide. You can go from 5,000 Rwandese francs to $2 million.
Of course.
You decide. You know, and so but to be at the level where be like, okay, I paid it. One thing I like about my shows, people be like, yo, the money that I paid is really, really small compared to the energy and the thing that you gave. This is the best feedback for me.
Yeah.
But when people are like, you know, in Kampala, when you're performing, hey, I want money! We want our money back. When people ask for their money back, you are not doing well. You know, you are not giving. You're not doing your job well, you know.
Just make sure that you're best at what you're doing.
Be the best, you know, like when you realize that, every time I give, people really enjoy or they learn or they get some form of experience they did not have before.
Yeah.
And then you get respect for it and you get love for it and then you grow into it.
Amazing.
That's the only advice I can say. That's gonna keep you. You're gonna enjoy to do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And also, you don't have to force doing things in one way they don't love you. You know,
Not everybody will
Not
like
everybody.
No.
You know, and also think about it. We have social media. Put your Instagram live, perform in your room. You're gonna have the people. What do you have to lose?
Do you?
Do your thing, you know? Don't go into environments that are toxic because what? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
They don't pay you, they don't treat you well. What's the point?
Period.
You know?
Thank you so much, man.
I'm a man. Pleasure. We're still on it.
Yeah.
Ego. Yeah.
Yo, guys, reminding you, you're listening to the #1 podcast in the country, the Journey Podcast, and I'm your host, Manzi, you know. And we cannot leave you without giving, you know, I know your Instagram, but I want you to share your handles, you know, for people listening for the first time this podcast, and maybe they don't even know your social media, you know, and they want to follow your work. Yeah.
So my handle is Instagram. I use Instagram. I used to use Twitter a lot, then the energy is just not right. You know? So now I'm on Instagram, working, you know, trying to work with visuals, because Instagram also challenges you to like, how do you put your art into visuals? That's, you know, I like it. I like the challenge, because I use words a lot. So podcast works, yes, because yours is nice, but like it brings another aspect to elevate it. So my handle on Instagram is like at 1 as a digit, 1 key, and then key, the thing, Key, and then Ziki, Ziki for music, you know. 1 key Ziki, and it's gonna be 1keyziki.com. It's gonna be 1keyziki at Instagram. Those two actually are enough for me. Yeah.
Look to yourself.
Aye.
Much respect to everybody who tune in always. You know, it's a lot of appreciation that I send you guys, and thank you so much, guys.
Love.
Feel free to always comment and share this, because it's very important for us to grow our scene, and also for people and for artists especially. Actually, I did this platform for artists, for them to listen, but also really share their thoughts. You know, you have this podcast on all big major platforms, you know, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you know, Google Podcasts, and many more, and also on our YouTube channel, the Journey Podcast. And big up to yourself. I see you on another episode. Much love and respect. Boom.
Brah.